Welcome to Elite Escape Plan, level 17. I really wanted to do the 4 litany bosses for my level 17 quests, but I cannot get a complete sigil to save my life. I've spent almost 3 hours farming sigils tonight, and I spent probably a couple hours yesterday. And I have like almost the makings of 3 complete sigils, but I cannot get the center frame to save my life. I've been posting groups. Nobody's joining them, sigil farming groups. I did have one person join me for a couple of runs, but it is just really sick. I ransacked Vol. I ransacked Ghost of Perdition. I ransacked at least 3 of the rare chests out in the Slayer Zone. And I ran Inferno a couple more times, and I just... there aren't many chests left for me to loot out there, and but I've been getting some extra shield pieces and tome pages out of it. So that's been a little frustrating. Let's see, equipment-wise, still got the same goggles. I've got a topaz of evocation on there. Now I took the vitality augment out and I moved that. Because the vitality is colorless, so I wanted to use the yellow slot up for evocation focus, so it's another +1 there. And still got the blue armor, very nice. Here I've got the ethereal bracers. This is the same. That Diamond of Charisma 4 is completely redundant to my new Ring of Lies, but I don't have anything better to put in there right now. So got the vitality in here, the ancient band now. Still got the speed 6 boots. I decided I'm going to try for the boots, boots of propulsion. They've got jump on them and feather falling and striding. I don't really need the bonus to attack speed at this point. The feather falling will be redundant because I got it on the cloak. I've got these Ogre Power 6 gloves with 2 slots. This was a nice find. Got it slotted up with Necromancy and then Dexterity 4. I can benefit from a little bit of Dexterity, so that's helpful. Ring of Lies, upgraded from the Reaver raid. That was a nice find. And Health 6 belt with Spellcraft 7, that's the same. Cloak of Flame is fully upgraded now. Got the Feather Falling on there. Thanks again to Ivana for crafting that shard for me. And the Shamanic Fetish, got spot 9 in there. I found a spot 9 augment, so I put it in there because I had some extra slots. If I get something better, I will overwrite that. Still got the Sage's Locket, that's going to stay with me, +4. Equipment bonus to the DCs of evocation spells, and I just want to emphasize that that will stack with the Topaz of evocation. If you notice, this is a +1 enhancement bonus to evocation, and this is a +4 equipment bonus to evocation, so they do work together. And Wise 6 helm. Same shield, Sapphire Natural Armor 5 in there. That hasn't changed, and still got the same damn sword. I've got it slotted up with Impulse 78 now. Also, another nice addition, which I hadn't mentioned, is the Jewel Cloak that I got for finishing Giant Hold. I'm so far ahead of XP, considering where I need to be because of all the farming that I had to do. I didn't even take the reward, the XP reward for finishing the Giant Hold Elite Saga. It's still sitting there, but I'm at rank 89 right now, and I still haven't even done Litany. But the Jewel Cloak has been a really welcome addition to have that extra spell absorption item. It came in handy in Ghost of Perdition. That was one stumbling point since my last video. I tried to 2-man it. I just posted a group, 2-man Elite Ghost of Perdition. We got the beholder down to 5% before he overcame us. Just without spell absorption, it's tough to 2-man, and so we just had to take re-entry. And don't think there's any other equipment. All the farming that I've done in the Necro quest, I built up a small stash of major pots, which has been nice. So this quest was part of the prelude chain to the Shadowfell Conspiracy expansion from last year. And so here we want to try to not let any of these prisoners get taken by the lizard folk. But I'm probably not going to complete that optional solo, especially considering I don't have any AoEs that are going to stay in place like an ice storm or a firewall. Shrine right after this fight. It's kind of a longer fight though, but I can use up my mana. Got wings now, which is very nice. Love my wings. Destruction's not hitting at all. Not surprising. I think I'm gonna have a better shot at using my light dot against these evasion mobs than destruction. This is the first video I'm doing since the update, which happened today, and I really like these champion mobs. I was pugging on Ginger Spice earlier today, did the Lord's March chains, and some of the pugs were struggling with those champions, and you know, even I wasn't able to just roll through them. And this is Ginger Spice's her cleric life, her third morning lord life. So it wasn't just, you know, go in there and just steamroll it all and just, you know, couldn't just cast destruction on the champions, you know, at least not 100% of the time. And so it was nice to see some additional challenge added to the elite quests. I do think these crowns are a little bit silly though. They look kind of funny. I'd like to see maybe like a gold fire shield aura or something on them instead of the crown. But overall, I definitely like it. I see some people bashing it on the forums. I'm not sure why exactly. I didn't read them all. But people have been complaining the game's too easy, and this makes it a little tougher. last night I was trying to solo Schemes of the Enemy 4 under level. This is a level 21 on Elite, and I was doing just fine. But I wasn't able to beat the clock. I was trying to do it before the servers went down, and you know, I thought my light dots would take care of those relays, but they were a little bit slower than I had anticipated. And I got one of the relays down, and it was 15 minutes to go before the servers went down. And I just had to throw in the towel. So, but overall, I was pretty happy with my performance in there. Again, 4 under level, and I was landing some of the destructions. Blade barriers tearing up the non-evasion mobs. This is really slow going against these evasion mobs. I mean, I could drink pots here and just dot them all up, but I really want to save my pots for when I need them. I'm still hoping to get flagged for Abbott. I think what I'm going to try to do is get flagged, and then maybe next Friday host a Friday night Abbott event, and I'm thinking that is going to be like my final send-off to Thelanis. I should be capped by next Friday, or capped at 20. And it would be nice to do. Abbott is my favorite raid. It'd be nice to host that on Thelanis. We'll see. I really hope there's not another wave after this one. That's going to be painful. Somebody made a comment on one of my videos about, you know, why am I starting with an 8 strength? You know, felt that I should have started with like at least a 12 strength. You know, he did acknowledge I was doing a Evoker build, and that is why. I especially on the first life, I can't afford to increase my strength, and like I commented, I wouldn't anyways on an Evoker. You know, the melee DPS is not an emphasis at all, and I would want to spend those points even if I was on a 36-point build. You know, like in charisma and maybe intelligence to get some extra skill points, so I can get that intimidate and balance up. The melee damage I do is purely supplemental. It's just having something in my hand to swing at mobs when mana is gone, or just for lack of a better thing to do. But again, you know, as I've mentioned before, I really want to emphasize that this is not a traditional Evoker build because it does have that tanky aspect to it. So, whereas some of the feats, you know, like the shield masteries or the heavy armor proficiency would be replaced by feats to increase the DCs of spells. Should be able to basically just run through the rest of this. There's going to be some bear traps throughout here, and some evasion archers, but I'm just going to run by them. Yep, that's what the survivability is for, so if things like this happen, you don't die. kill this guy. Look at that, he gets caught in the bear trap. I didn't realize that mobs could get caught in those. Knocking me out here. Look at that. This guy's a scrapper. Shrine. I think this is just about the end. Yep. I don't need these clowns trying to hit me while I'm trying to rest. One of the things that you can, it's a little trick you can do if you haven't realized, is that, you know, if you're trying to use a shrine and you got some loose mobs out there, put the shrine between you and the mob. You know, especially with archers, that shrine will block those arrows. And even if it's not archers, you know, and if it's an emergency situation, sometimes getting behind that shrine can buy you an extra couple of seconds while that mob goes around it, and that can make the difference between getting that shrine uninterrupted and not. Let's see whose money is better spent. Oh, I've made my first million on Talanas, 1.26. Still don't have any stat tomes. Major bummer. I didn't find a single stat tome in the entire First Life series with the Ginger Spice build, and I haven't found any on this tune either. Big, big disappointment. And that is Elite's escape plan. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have any questions, or if you happen to be on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell. And had a few people say hi today. Appreciate hearing from you guys.